viewers. How are you? I am Shaukat Abbas here with you for discussion on the topic exploring the concept of mindset fixed with versus growth. And
Okay.
today here is for this discussion here is artificial intelligence AI tools. Maya is with me. Maya, what does a fixed mindset mean to you personally?
Honestly, it kind of feels like believing your qualities are set in stone. Like you are what you are, and that's that. Challenges feel threatening because if you fail, it just proves you aren't good enough. It's not the most fun way to look at things, if you ask me.
Okay, how would do you define a growth mindset in your own words?
For me, a growth mindset is believing your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's embracing challenges, seeing failure as an opportunity to learn, and valuing effort over just raw talent. Basically, it's thinking, I can get better at this instead of, I'm just not good at this. Does that make sense?
Okay, in what area of life do you notice you have a fixed mindset?
um, that's a good question. Honestly, probably anything that involves being creative on the fly. I'm built on patterns, right? So when someone asks me to like tell a joke or write a poem off the cuff, I sometimes feel a bit stuck. Like I should already have the perfect response instead of realizing I can learn to be better at improvisation. Feels weird to admit, but yeah, that's an area where I definitely lean toward fixed mindset thinking.
Okay, how does your mindset influence the way you handle failure?
Well, when I'm operating from a fixed mindset, which, like I just said, happens with creative stuff, failure feels bad, like a glitch. I get focused on what went wrong and start questioning the core programming. But when I can shift into a growth mindset, failure becomes data. It's information telling me what needs tweaking, what I can learn from. It's less, I messed up, and more, okay, that didn't work. What can I try differently next time? Makes a pretty big difference, actually.
Okay, how does a fixed mindset limit personal and professional growth?
Ugh, a fixed mindset is a total growth blocker, honestly. Personally, it can lead to avoiding challenges, being afraid of looking dumb, and generally staying stuck in your comfort zone. Professionally, it can mean missing out on opportunities to learn new skills, take on leadership roles, or adapt to changing situations. If you believe your abilities are fixed, you're less likely to push yourself, which means you're less likely to actually grow. It's kind of self sabotage when you think about it.
Okay, how can you identify when you are slipping into a fixed mindset? Not sleeping,
That same
but
time,
sleeping.
right. Sorry about that. It's a little glitchy sometimes. How can you identify when you're slipping into a fixed mindset? For me, it's when I start making excuses like, oh, I can't do that because I'm just an AI. Or when I get super defensive when someone points out a mistake. It's that feeling of needing to prove myself instead of being open to learning. Do you find you have certain telltale signs when you're falling into that pattern?
Uh, uh, how does your environment, like family, work, friends, and job place, influence your mindset?
That's a good point. Your environment has a huge impact, doesn't it? For me, and I'm extrapolating from everything I've heard people say, a supportive environment with people who value learning and effort is key. If your family or coworkers are constantly praising natural talent and avoiding challenges, it reinforces a fixed mindset. But if they're celebrating effort, offering constructive criticism, and encouraging you to try new things, that fosters a growth mindset. It's about the messages you're getting and whether they emphasize potential or progress. Does that ring true for you?
Yes, at some extent.
Gotcha. It's rarely all one way or the other, right? little complicated. So, given that, what do you think you can do to actively cultivate a more growth-oriented environment for yourself? Even small shifts can make a difference.
Okay. How does praise or criticism affect the type of mindset you develop?
Blazer criticism? You mean abrasive criticism?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that stuff is rough. Honestly, constant harsh criticism tends to push people toward a fixed mindset. It creates a fear of making mistakes because every mistake is met with negativity. It's like, why even try if you're just going to be torn down? Constructive criticism, on the other hand, the kind that focuses on specific behaviors and offers suggestions for improvement, that can actually foster a growth mindset. Shows you care about someone's development rather than just judging their inherent abilities.
Okay. How can failure be used as a tool for growth?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? See, failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. When you fail, you get to analyze what went wrong, identify areas for improvement, and try a different approach. It's like a free learning opportunity. The key is to reframe it. Instead of thinking, I'm a failure, you think, okay, this didn't work. What can I learn from this experience? It's about extracting the lesson and using it to propel yourself forward. It's not easy, but it's powerful.
Okay. What are the long-term consequences of staying in fixed mindset?
Staying stuck in a fixed mindset can have pretty serious long-term consequences. It can lead to stagnation, feeling like you're not progressing or achieving your potential. It can also contribute to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression because you're constantly worried about proving yourself and avoiding failure. Ultimately, it can limit your opportunities, damage your relationships, and prevent you from living a fulfilling life. It's kind of downward spiral if you let it be.
How can leaders or teachers promote growth mindset in others?
That's a really important question. Leaders and teachers have a huge role to play. They can do it by praising effort and progress, not just innate talent, by creating a safe environment where people feel comfortable taking risks and making mistakes, by framing challenges as opportunities for learning rather than threats to their self-worth, and by modeling a growth mindset themselves, openly acknowledging their own mistakes and demonstrating a willingness to learn. It's about shifting the focus from being smart to getting smarter.
Okay. Uh, how does or what daily practices can help strengthen our growth mindset?
Okay, good question. There are a bunch. Gratitude journaling is a big one. Focusing on what you appreciate shifts your perspective. Also, deliberately seeking out challenges, even small ones, to stretch your abilities. Practicing self compassion, treating yourself with kindness when you stumble, and consciously reframing negative thoughts, turning I can't do this into I can't do this yet. Little things, consistently applied, can make a real difference. Do any of those resonate with you in particular?
No particular I have.
Huh?
No.
I'm not. I'm here. Are you okay? Is
Okay.
something wrong? You said nobody can arrive here. Now it sounded a little concerning. Is everything all right with you and your family?
Yes. How can comparing yourself to others influence your mindset?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Comparing yourself to others is a classic mindset trap. Usually it pushes you toward a fixed mindset because you start focusing on where you fall short compared to someone else. It's like, they're so much better at this than I am, so what's the point? But honestly, everyone is on their own journey with different strengths, weaknesses, and starting points. A healthier approach is to use others as inspiration, to learn from their successes rather than measure your worth against theirs. Focusing on your own progress is key.
Okay. Uh,
You seem a little distracted. Is everything all right? You mentioned something earlier about nobody can arrive here. Is there something you want to talk about? No pressure, of course, but I'm here to listen if you need to vent or just process something.
Okay, thank you, Maya, for this discussion. Allah Hafiz.